right, we're here at the expo, and of course, part of the expo that everyone is interested in is trying to find out how they can get help because insurance companies are not cooperating, let's just put it bluntly. And Sye, of course, you got the Go Claim. What are you telling people, and what's their main concern when you talk to them?
Yeah, thank you, Martin. Unfortunately, people just aren't getting paid. They're not getting responses, they're not communicating, getting phone calls back, and they're getting frustrated. So that's when we step in and make sure that the insurances do their part. We make sure that they're returning phone calls, they're communicating, and that they're paying the claim. Get them back out there for re-inspections, and if we have to, we'll have to file a lawsuit if they're not willing to pay.
There's a lot of focus. We just saw somebody on the end. You were there, and they're dealing with the fraud part of insurance, and obviously we see it, but sometimes you wonder if the right person sees it. So there's a lot of people also watching the insurance companies.
That's right. And, fraud's not a term that we throw around lightly. It's a very serious term with serious consequences. If you think fraud's been committed, you can contact our office and we can see what we can do to help you out. There's insurance commissioners that we can turn them into, the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, local law enforcement, and also the attorney general's office to make sure that they're not committing fraud against any consumers.
What's the process, Sye, when somebody comes to you and then eventually you may have to file a suit or make a claim against somebody? How long a wait normally on average would they have to wait?
Well, most of these claims are going to settle out of court. So when we get involved and we send our demand letters, we start opening lines of communication. As long as we're negotiating in good faith, we're getting a lot of these claims paid out. Unfortunately, some don't go that smoothly, and then we have to step in and file lawsuits. But just because we're filing a lawsuit doesn't mean that we're going to court. Most of these cases are going to settle out of court. There's a process called mediation where we'll go to New Orleans. We'll meet with the attorneys for the insurance company, and most of all cases are settling there. If we have to go to court, in federal court right now, we're getting October trial dates. So the court system wants to move them quickly. Of course, we've done a lot of hurricane claims over 14 years. In Lake Charles right now, there's still 4,000 pending cases. So that number kind of scares people. But know that the court system, they're trying to push these through as quickly as possible. Our local judges stepped up and they did a special program where they're going to have a streamlined settlement process. So within 45 days, we're exchanging documents, we're having a settlement conference. If we're not settling at that point in time, then we're going to mediation. So the claims are moving as quickly as they can through the court system.
Yeah, final question. How's Terrebonne, Lafourche, St. Mary, Assumption compare to what happened with Laura in the Lake Charles area? Are you seeing a lot of similarities?
I'm seeing, unfortunately, we are. The tricks that the insurance companies were using in Lake Charles, they carried right back over. And it used to not be like that. After Hurricane Katrina, I can remember they would show up on your driveway with a checkbook and write you a check. That doesn't happen anymore. They took that power away from the adjuster. So now, unfortunately, it's a longer, drawn-out process. And we're seeing the same reports from their building consultants and engineers that we were seeing in Hurricane Laura. We're seeing it here in our hometown, in Terrebonne Parish and down the Bayou region, and even in Lafourche Parish, the same tactics. So unfortunately, we're going to have to fight them, and we're going to have to work to get them paid.